Hello and welcome to the EggBanana podcast. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Mark.
And I'm Edward. This podcast was created for English learners and to discuss our experiences living overseas.
And today's episode, I wanted to talk about, or we wanted to kind of discuss, when foreigners travel overseas, there's usually a few important questions they have to learn how to ask. For example, if you go to China or Japan or any other country speaking a different language besides English, you have to ask what important questions? Ryan, Edward?
You have to ask, what is this, or where's the toilet?
Those are some really good questions right there. So, one of the important questions are like how much something is, how much is that, how much is this? And then, of course, most importantly, when you need to go to the bathroom, you need to ask, how do you get to the bathroom? And in this episode, we're going to discuss mostly about the different ways that bathroom is called. And for you, Ryan, I think you've been in Japan and I've been in Japan for a short time. And I know, like, for Japanese, when they call the restroom, they call it what?
When they would say toilet or bathroom in Japanese, they would just use the Japanese word, which came from English, which is toire. But in English, they would write WC everywhere. That was the first time I'd ever heard of WC.
Actually, I've never heard of WC until you just told me like a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
And after you told me, I actually started seeing that here in Taiwan. I haven't seen it in Japan, but
Yeah, I think it's what they're taught. Maybe, I'm not sure it came from British English or what, but yeah. Do you know what WC stands for?
I don't know what WC stands for, and I'm sure the people in the audience would like to know as well, so please.
Yeah, WC stands for water closet. Water closet.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
water closet, that's an interesting name. Is there any reason why it's a closet? I mean, usually a closet is something where you hang your clothes, but
I guess like if you think about a bathroom, it's kind of like a small little place, kind of like a closet. And then you have like a sink or toilet or whatever. There's water. So
actually, can you give our audience a brief way of how to ask where the bathroom is in Japanese?
Sure. Toire wa doko desu ka?
And Edward D., can you give us the Mandarin version?
不好意思，你们的厕所在哪里? So it's basically like, okay, excuse me, where's my bathroom? Forgive the accent. I also know, it's interesting, I took high school Spanish, so I also know bathroom in Espanol or Spanish is cuarto de baño. So you could say, ¿Dónde estás el cuarto de baño? Where is the bathroom? I think I'm doing that right.
That's interesting. That I didn't know about you, Edward. I didn't know your Spanish was like high school level.
What is corte?
Cuarto.
Oh, cuarto. What is that?
I have no idea. I know cuarto de baño means bathroom. That's all I remember from high school Spanish.
Oh, I learned ¿Dónde está el baño?
Oh, el baño. Okay, maybe that's
El baño. Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe that's a more manly way of saying it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But this is a very interesting topic because I was on Google looking at articles, and it's very interesting because obviously we don't talk about going to the bathroom or using it, but it's such a vital part of our life. Actually, according to this article I read that was conducted by a company called Bath Store, basically they polled 2,500 people, and they said basically that every week, an average, we go to the bathroom on average at least an hour and 42 minutes, okay, a week. And then if you go by the average lifetime, that comes out to 92 days. So, and then I'm not good at math. According to the article, that's 2,208 hours, okay? And that is equal to about the time of the Earth's seasonal cycle, okay? I'm reading this off an article, guys.
I thought you had all this memorized.
No.
It's very important. Very
you.
important to memorize
Right.
this one.
And the last fun fact that no one cares about is, so your average human spends as much time on the toilet as it took Sputnik to complete the first space flight in 1957. And it took about 92 days. So the average lifetime, we're on the loo, the John, the toilet for 92 days.
Wow. That's an interesting thought. I didn't know about that. So, and kind of, I also wanted to mention, like, so the Mandarin version that you used to ask like where the toilet or where the restroom is, and you said "setsuo."
I said "soso." I think
"Setsuo."
"soso" is. Correct me, Mark. Sometimes my Mandarin is a little. It escapes me. I think that means restroom, or okay, because I think toilet is a different word. Correct?
Well,
I'm trying to remember.
yeah, in Mandarin, toilet is "matong."
Yeah, that's right. Matong. Right.
So,
Yeah.
and
That's
but
like
for-
the physical toilet.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
the physical toilet.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
but of course, we just learned Japanese. They use toilet or toilet.
Toilet.
Do they have? Just curious. Do they have like the word restroom in Japanese? Is it a different word or?
Ryan, do you?
There is another common way to say it, which is also similar in Mandarin, at least as far as writing goes. It's like ote arai. So it's like a place where you wash your hands. So like shishojian.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
like partially the same characters. Yeah.
So yeah, that's actually what I wanted to kind of mention
Okay.
as well. Like, so there's another in Mandarin. There's actually another way of saying like restrooms, "sisojian." So
Oh, Shisogen. Okay.
so "shi" is like to wash, and "so" is your hands, and "jian" is the room. So in literal translation, it's like wash hand room. So
Interesting. Mark probably knows this too. I just thought about it. I don't know if probably kids use this more because they always say like "ihao," "erhao," which is like number one, number two.
Yeah.
Can you explain that a little bit about that?
well,
Like I'm just curious how like urinate
It's-
equals one, and then
Well, same in English, right? We have like go number one, go number two.
yeah. But what does that mean? Like I've heard about that, but what does that mean? Like
Maybe it makes more sense in Mandarin when you
Yeah.
use like xiao hao and da
Okay.
hao,
Okay.
like small
got it.
number and big number.
Because I was like, what happens if you do both? You're doing a number three, or like what happens there? Like
That number one falls into number two.
got you.
Yeah,
got you.
it's
Okay.
all
interesting.
You know what's another interesting? Like the many different synonyms or like other words that people use instead of toilet. Do you guys have other like words or synonyms that you might use instead of toilet or restroom?
Well, I think for well, we're all Americans here.
Yes.
So, well, part Americans, half, I guess.
I'm Russian, but okay.
But I think we know like there's in America like Americans have a lot of different slangs or ways of saying the toilet, and I remember when I was younger like it used to be called the John.
Yes.
Sometimes the can.
Yes.
I'm trying to think.
I've heard of lavatory, little boy's room, but I don't know what that means. I think this might be French. Correct me if I'm wrong, French listeners. Boudoir, is that one?
Yeah,
No,
I don't know.
Is it, Ryan,
Not sure.
am I off? I don't. You've heard of that, right?
Yeah, but I
I don't know
think
if
that
that's
means
French.
multiple things. Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting. But yeah, I don't know what else. I
Yeah.
know, Ryan, you haven't been back to the States for a while, so.
Yeah, I remember hearing, at least in movies or something, people like ladies in particular, girls would say like, "Gonna powder my nose."
Oh,
that's right.
was that the code? So they're not
Yeah.
powdering the noses. Okay.
Yeah.
Good
That
to know.
powder room.
Yeah,
I've heard
powder
that.
room.
I've heard that, yeah.
Hmm. My grandfather used to say something interesting. He would say, "I've got to go see a man about a horse." Have you ever heard that?
So the horse equals the number two, or what does that mean?
No, it's just
Okay.
simply, it's like, just like the girl saying like, "I got to go powder my nose." The guy says like, "I got to go see a man about a horse." I have no idea where it came from. I'm sure there's some story, but it's like at least my grandfather's generation or whatever.
I do know there's like a more crude way, and obviously don't use this in everyday language, but I've heard of like dropping a load
Uh-huh.
or making a deposit, that kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
Or taking a,
Expletive. Yes.
Taking
Yeah.
a dump.
Yes.
yeah, exactly. I hear that all the time,
Mm.
Yeah.
especially younger generation.
And if it's a huge one, sometimes they say drop in a brick.
Wow. That's okay. Good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very good vocabulary for all of you listeners out there.
Yes. Yes.
So,
Don't use that for formal occasions, by the way. Yes.
yeah.
I used to have a friend who would say something like, he needed to drain his lizard.
Oh, I've heard of that. Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
These must be very strange for English learners, some of these terms.
Right. Now, my question to you guys is: some people, it becomes like a pastime. They like open up a magazine. They're on their phone, sitting on the toilet for like an extended period of time. What do you guys say to that? Like, yay or nay, or what do you guys do?
Well, I know people who are like in their own homes.
Yes.
That's fine. Like, yeah, of course, if they have family members waiting on them, like it can be a bit of a problem. But I have heard like people at work, sometimes they will take a long break, go into the toilet and just like sleep.
Oh wow.
So
Wait, they don't use the bathroom. They just sleep there basically.
well, I mean, it's like taking a short break, but it's like
Okay.
yeah, like they go into the toilet and just kind of sit there and maybe they're doing their business and like reading a newspaper or something,
Taking their sweet time.
taking their sweet time.
Well, I guess in a way, the bathroom kind of is their only place of solace or like their sanctuary where no one can bother you. Your boss, your wife can't go in there and be like, hey, you know, it's kind of like, it just means kind of you know, this is my time and to stay away, I would say. So it's very interesting.
Well, I think if there's like multiple bathrooms at that place, I think it's okay. Maybe somebody takes their time. But if there's just like one bathroom and everybody's waiting on you, then that's, you know, not very considerate.
Oh, so you're bringing up bathroom etiquette. This is
Yeah.
something very interesting. Another one I have, and I'm sure this happened to you, has occurred to you guys before, is when I go to the restroom, it's a completely vacant restroom. I'm using the you know, standing up urinal to pee, and someone comes in and they go right next to me.
Oh yeah,
I don't know why. Like there's other toilets they can use. It's
I'm
very
glad
awkward.
that doesn't only happen to me.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I thought it was like, yeah, it's pretty weird. Like I had that happen a lot, especially in the Philippines. Like I would just, there's like 10 urinals on the wall. You choose one kind of far away. There's nobody at all at the others. And then somebody comes in and then they use the one right next to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a very, very important bathroom etiquette. So, and I remember working with a guy, and he would always kind of like stand next to you, even though there's like other urinals that they could use. So,
Would he talk to you or engage with you, or what's going on here?
no, but
Okay.
I had seen him kind of look over. So it was kind of weird and awkward.
Is he
So,
looking at your face or another area?
I don't know.
Okay.
So
So it's interesting since we're bringing up these things. I also think another faux pas. I don't know why, especially recently, it's kind of bothered me. I see a lot of people after they're done with their said business, they wash their hands, but they don't use soap. That kind of drives me crazy. I don't know how you guys feel about that, or if you've seen that before. They just kind of like rinse their hands. I'm just like,
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's culture or, but I have heard like here in Taiwan, like before they grew up just knowing like just to wash their hands with water.
yes.
So
As long as they look clean.
I'm guessing. So
But guys, you gotta use the soap, especially
Yeah.
during these times. Okay, just water will not kill all the bacteria.
Yeah.
trust
The
me.
thing that bothers me is that like people use the toilet, either the urinal or the sit down toilet or whatever. But then, yeah, they'll go to the sink. They'll just barely wet their hands, and then they'll like splash some water on their face or something.
That sounds
pretty gross.
lovely.
And speaking of that, I was kind of curious. I guess one of the things that we didn't really touch on squatters.
Oh yeah,
So
different types of toilets.
yeah, like so those are kind of like the hole in the ground kind of situation. Have you guys had to experience any of those?
You're making me. Yeah, I didn't want to do this, Mark, but you drove this out of me. This was one of my pet peeves about Taiwan, which I love. Taiwan's the best. But when I first came to Taiwan, yes, like you said, I'm sure there's like proper terminology for it, but basically the hole in the ground. So when I first saw that, it was like equal parts shock, dismay, and bewilderment because I was not used to that as an American. Because it's kind of like, okay, I'm going to the bathroom and you've added an extra obstacle for me, especially if I'm tipsy or hungover. I don't want to.
Yeah,
I don't want to be
true.
doing Olympics when I'm going to the bathroom.
Yeah.
So for me, I don't know about you guys. I try to avoid that like the plague, the squatting one. In bathrooms in Taiwan, I usually try to go for the one which is the just like the normal toilet or the
Western.
Yes, there we go.
Well,
Not normal.
When I first moved to Japan, I had basically the same feeling. It was interesting because, like, if you went into even just like a very nice shopping mall, there would be like, say, 4 stalls. 3 of them would be like basically this floor urinal looking thing, like the urinal embedded in the floor, and then you've got 1 Western toilet. Fortunately, most people preferred the non-Western toilet, so I was usually able to use the Western toilet, but I have had to use the squatter or whatever it's officially called. Not my favorite thing.
Mark, your thoughts about that?
I don't know where I actually first saw a squatter for the first time. I think it might have been in South Korea. I don't remember, but it was a kind of a strange and weird thing to see. So I think the last time I used a squatter was in Taiwan, and I was kind of like in a desperate situation, so I just had to use it. So, but after that, like I felt, for me, it is kind of strange where you squatting down and your pants is like kind of like touching the ground, and basically it's like you aiming for the hole. It's a real weird situation.
You got to take your pants off, man. Take your pants
It's
off
like
and hang them on the
carnival game.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't want to play that game. And during this like vulnerable time, I don't want to play that game, right?
And yeah, after that time, I told myself like, I'm not going to try
Never
to do that
again.
again. Yeah. So as like for you, like if I can find a toilet like an westernized toilet, like I would try to find one. Speaking of Japanese toilets, I haven't been to many countries, but I do have to say the Japanese toilet is probably one of the best I've ever had, because there's like so many things like you can adjust.
heated seats, even a massager,
and
the bidet.
Bidet, yes.
That's right.
Yes, that is the best.
Those are good.
Well, that's all the time that we have for today, guys. Thank you for everyone tuning in. Next time we'll be talking about
dreams or more dreams.
Yeah.
Maybe you're in a dream right now.
That's a good question. We'll have to wait till the next episode.